Well, hey guys, Kevin the Comic Doctor coming to you with another impromptu one-on-one video. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about relative humidity as it pertains to pressing comic books. You know, there are lots of videos out there currently on how to press comic books. Lots of different techniques are shared with you on YouTube, on all over the internet. But no one talks a lot about relative humidity. And that, my friends, I've discovered firsthand is extremely important as you proceed with pressing comic books. You know, I think it's fantastic that guys, other collectors and enthusiasts are playing around with pressing comics. It's a lot of fun. It's really gratifying to see an old book that, you know, otherwise is in really bad condition be kind of turned around, and you know, we breathe new life into it. So it's fantastic. But understanding the relative humidity and the space in which you work is extremely important. Guys, it's like this. You know, here at my home, I have a furnace with a humidifier on it. And in the summer months here in Ontario, Canada, it gets quite hot outside. We have air conditioning, you know, to keep the house comfortable. But the humidity levels in our home, and our home is a pretty modern home, built in the last probably 18 years. The house doesn't have a lot of humidity in it. It may get a little dry, actually, in the winter months. But again, we do have a humidifier on our furnace, which helps combat that problem. You know, we don't see static electricity bouncing off each other here in the home. So that's a good thing. So I don't tend to have a lot of problems with relative humidity here. But over the office, that's another story. The office was built probably, I'm going to take a guess here, in the late 50s, early 60s. My office has windows across the front and we face east. So every morning we get a lot of sun hitting the front of the office, and we have heat pumping in there right now. And I noticed quite a change in how the comic books react, and other items in the office as well react to the humidity or lack thereof. All right, it all starts probably going back to the spring, summer of this year. As you all know, I moved into a new space, and we started pressing books at the shop more regularly. And you know, we'd work on some books. We would leave them to be inspected, and when we come back to inspect the books, all of a sudden they'd have these waves in the book all the way through them. And some books were worse than others. And we were like, what the hell? The book came out of the press perfect. A few hours later, we have all these waves in the book. So they throw it in and press it again. The book comes out okay. We pack it, send it in, no problem. But what I was noticing is, as the days progressed, the comic books were, you know, showing those waviness through them throughout the entire, within a few minutes of coming out of the press, they would start, the paper would suck the humidity that was in the space into the paper's fibers, causing this ripple effect. So, you know, I got a hydrometer, and sure enough, I got one over on Amazon. They're very cheap. I'll show you in a few moments what they look like. And I discovered the humidity levels in our office were way too high. There was way too much moisture in our space. Interestingly enough, too, just outside, on the second floor at my shop, we have this awning, I guess you could say. You can walk on the awning, actually. It's this area out front of the office. The windows are there, and there's this, it's a second story. And when it rains, the water just kind of sits on this awning. So whether or not the building is absorbing this water and then distributing that throughout the rest of the, you know, the offices, I don't know. All I can tell you is our space was extremely humid. And so what we did, picked up a dehumidifier, and guess what, my friends? Within a couple of hours, first of all, it was pouring out water. The dehumidifier was sucking up the water in the atmosphere and the space, and, you know, right to the drain. You could hear it running constantly. Once we got it down to a proper humidity level, the problem was solved. Books are coming out of the press, no more rippling at all. The books would be left out, you know, to be inspected for an hour or two. Again, no issues whatsoever. So we discovered that this space, perhaps it's the age of the building, I don't know, for whatever reason, the space is very, very humid. So again, a dehumidifier solved that problem. The only thing that sucks about the dehumidifier is they're very loud. And it's running constantly in the spring and summer months. But I guess that's what music is for, right? Anyways, let's fast forward now to just a few weeks ago. Nipur and Charlo and myself are doing books at the shop. something different was happening. First of all, we keep all the card stock, there, like, Silver Age boards and Golden Age boards, magazine boards for us to use when we're packing the books up. And they were starting to do this. They were starting to curl like this. It was crazy. They were just sitting flat, and all of a sudden, within a few days, they were doing this. And something different was happening to the comics. No longer were they rippling, but they were actually flaring. The bottom corners of the comics were flaring up, kind of like, sort of like this. They would do this. I'm exaggerating, but essentially that's what would happen. And again, some comics were really, really bad. Others, not so bad. But what was happening now, opposite to what was happening in the spring and summer, the heat is on at the office, and it was incredibly dry. I grabbed my hydrometer, and sure enough, it wasn't humid enough in the rooms. There wasn't enough moisture in the air. So what I had to do, I had to go out and pick up a humidifier. So now I have a dehumidifier. I got a nice collection. I got a dehumidifier, and now I went out and bought a humidifier. And again, within, I'd say, a day and a half, all the boards flattened, and the comics were pressing out beautifully. So again, I hear people talk about problems they have with, pressing books when the books come out of the press. Sometimes they're rippling, sometimes they're flaring. This could be one of the reasons why that is happening. So you really want to go out and pick up one of these, guys. It's right here. Where is it? Boom, boom, boom. It is, where's my chat window? Right there. You want to pick up one of these hydrometers. Look, they're $10. You can probably buy them at, like, Home Depot or Canadian Tire or a hardware store. But you can also go to Amazon and you can grab one here. They're about $10. And not only does it tell you the actual temperature in your room, it will give you a relative humidity reading. Now, what's the ideal humidity reading? What should you aim for? They say you want to be, for comfort in a home, between 50 and 55 relative humidity. I found that in our office, as long as we're around the 47 to 52 mark, everything kind of works really nice. So that's the magic number. 47 to 52 relative humidity in the space where you are pressing your comic books. All right, guys, again, I just want to come up here and talk to you about the silent and invisible factor that a lot of pressers don't really take into consideration when they are beginning pressing books, or even have been pressing for a long time. Look, I've been doing this for 10 years, and the books were coming out rippled, and I didn't put two and two together right away, and I should have. So anyways, hopefully that wonly happen to you. Hopefully you'll go out and buy a hydrometer and see if your space is at the ideal humidity levels. And if not, you may need to go out and pick up a dehumidifier for the summer and spring months, and you may need to pick up a humidifier for the winter months. And again, if you're working in a room that's like this room I'm working here, this is my home office. It's probably around 15 feet by 15 by 20. It's not a very big space. Well under 200 square feet. You can buy a small humidifier for like $30 or $40, which would keep this space perfectly humidified if I needed it. And a dehumidifier, you can probably get, I'm not sure if you can get small dehumidifiers. But that's okay, because even the bigger ones will turn off once they reach the optimal humidity level. All right, guys, that's it for me. Again, hope that you found that informative. Please go out and pick up one of those hydrometers and see if your space is properly humidified. And again, this here, guys, was a pre-recorded video. I'll be back on here probably in a few days to do another live CGC unboxing as more books are on their way back as we speak from Sarasota. And if you haven't done so already, guys, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be one of the first to know when I do go live or drop a video such as this. All right, my friends, you take care. Have a fantastic rest of your evening, and hope to see you at my next live unboxing. Bye for now. See ya.